What's good, people, and welcome back to another episode of Redskins Film Review. And today I'm going to be going over the defense. If you didn't get a chance to catch yesterday's episode, I went over the offense, or what was there to see of the offense. And just to let everybody know that might not have tuned in yesterday, I don't proclaim myself to be a film expert, such as Chris Cooley or a former, scout or anything to that nature. Just wanted to come on and go over some film and take a look at things further. Now, this is going to be a part of the channel each week, and I'm going to try to do as much of this as I possibly can. That said, let's get right into it. Now, in the Eagles' first possession, the very first play, as a matter of fact, I was happy to see that they actually went after Carson Wentz and tried to put a little pressure on him, which is what I was hoping to see most of the day. See, you can see Kerrigan getting after him. Thankfully, the corners did their job as well. And you'll see it from this different angle. But Kerrigan comes around, makes a good move, decent little spin move, and almost gets Wentz. I was wondering if Wentz was going to be rehabbed and healthy enough to be able to still slip out of pressures and not get sacked in certain situations that he may have slipped out before. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at this play. Kerrigan did a good job getting pressure there. Sweat did too on the backside. I want to take a quick look at this play. In my opinion, this is what happens when your DeSean Jackson and the other team is constantly giving you a 7 to 10 yard cushion. Now, everybody else is covered, but watch how D-Jack still makes this catch, still gets his yardage. Watch. Just a good cut. Might not be able to stop that. Watch it again from this angle. This angle may not be the best. Defense did their jobs, just, I don't know, that cushion. Now, this was the play that jumped out at me at very first because our rookie inside linebacker, Cole Holcomb, kind of popped up. And the first thing I saw, of course, was a 5-5, which always reminds me of Hamburger. But of course, it's been used throughout the years, but this kid's got some speed. And I liked, the way that he was immediately on top of the ball. Just watch the play. Moves great. Like his movement side to side was really what you want out of a linebacker. Good speed, great instinct. That's just what you want. He made a good tackle at the end. This was what I thought was a good play, but they ended up throwing a flag, and I believe it was a 15-yard unnecessary roughness called on DeSean Jackson for when they got into that little fist fight or whatever, but I don't think the coach's film shows any of it. Yeah, coach's film. Oh, bottom right. Showed it a little bit. I know a lot of people have been down on Dunbar. Go ahead and watch this play here. And Dunbar's right here. Gotta love my bright yellow color there. This could have been a really, really, really lethal play right here. I guess that's Aguilar. It just releases off the line. And the DBs made the right call. It's just that I'm glad they did, because if they hadn't have, this could have gotten real nasty real quick. Right there. I'll pause it right there. So right here, you can look at the play and you can see that Aguilar, who's right here, is wide open with a fly route at hand, of course. Now, he has some defenders here. Now, if he was turned right now, or if the quarterback were to throw him the ball right now, they wouldn't get the first down. So Wentz is kind of waiting for a couple seconds, and I think he thinks that if he waits, maybe that Aguilar can beat the coverage deep. And essentially, Dunbar is right here. He comes down and meets the ball, basically. Dunbar made a good play there. Dunbar doesn't make that play, then that's a good chance of a touchdown there. Real good chance. There's nobody there. I mean, if you stop the play right there, there's nobody there. I mean, I know you can't see it right now from the shot I'm at, but there's nobody there to stop him if he gets past that. And that is Aguilar, who has good speed. I have no qualms about how the Redskins were able to shut this play down right here. Everybody knows that Darren Sproles over the years has been a killer, a thorn in Washington's side. And this play, Kerrigan actually is able to seal the edge up and force him back in. It looks like he gets maybe a yard or two, but that's okay because if he'd have, kicked it outside a little bit, maybe that would have been a bigger gain. Collins there too. This is the play where Jonathan Allen gets hurt and doesn't come back in the game. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he just got piled up on. Ooh, okay. Yeah, it looks like he was twisted underneath of that pile. Allen is right here. And he just gets contorted, and his leg is kind of bent the wrong way. I don't know, it's real hard to explain, but if you watch the play, you'll see his leg gets bent completely out of direction. Just turned backwards. It's a little bit of a hyperextension. You can see he stays down. Here's another play where the rookie Holcomb really showed his talent. And, I mean, I'm telling you, this kid's got some speed. And everyone I kept hearing talk about him was telling me about how athletic he is and how he can make plays out of nothing. And, he was the unknown guy down there in UNC who made a ton of tackles and still kept going. And somehow or another, the Redskins were able to get him in the late draft. And I believe it's going to be a steal in the long run when people look back on it. You got to like that. Watch it from this angle. It's really a thing of beauty the way that the whole line opens up for him to be able to make that play. I'm going to try to pause it. The Philly defender here, he's got his eyes over here somewhere. He's definitely not looking at Holcomb over here. I'm really interested to see what this kid's going to be able to do in the long run. Quick look on this play. This rookie just keeps popping up all over this film. Here he is right here. And, I mean, he just has an instinct for the ball. Watch him as the play progresses forward. I mean, unscathed. Completely unscathed. Watch it again. Unscathed. I love it. A lot of folks were wondering how DeSean Jackson beat the team almost single-handedly in their eyes. And when you see plays like the next play, you'll wonder yourself how that could be too, because of the way that they throw the blanket protection over top of him to the point where he's given a good, 5 to 6 yard cushion. And it just drives me insane. A lot of times it's Josh Norman that does this. It seems like Josh Norman hasn't met a route that he doesn't like to overrun. I don't understand it. I never understand it. But players can constantly stop and come back and get the ball. You'd think that he would learn by now that he can't get away with that. But anyway, this is not Josh here. There's Dunbar again with D-Jax. And they're at the top of the screen, I believe. No, they weren't at the top of the screen. Jackson's in motion. And if you're DeSean Jackson, that's the kind of respect you get when you play the Washington Redskins. I mean, that's a first down all day long. I'll show it one last time. Look. Comes in motion. Dunbar comes off of him. And it's a first down. 9 yards. Move chains. I was going into this game, I really was worried about how they were going to defend Jackson. because I know that he's fast and I know that he's skilled at sucking in the long ball. Watch this play and see how clean of a pocket that Carson Wentz has on this play. Now, mind you, they only gain, I don't know, 5 or 6 yards off of this, but just look how clean of a pocket he has. I mean, without the low pass, maybe he gets more yards out of that. Now, in my opinion, this is the kind of play right here that you want Josh Norman making the tackle or being the one who brings the play to an end. Norman's up here. You can't see that line there. There's a little arrow. Norman is right there. And as the play progresses, you'll see him come up and make a stop on it. Well, that's the only time that you'd want a Josh Norman, going up one-on-one with DeSean Jackson. A play like that, where obviously Norman controls that situation because of his size and his stature. Again, watch how clean this pocket is. Now, I like that the rookie was able to make the stop before they got a first down on this play, but watch how clean the pocket is once again. Holcomb came off of the line of scrimmage to make that play, by the way. Watch him. He's up there on the right side of the screen right now. And closes and makes that tackle. So, I mean, really, that was a hell of a play by the rookie. So here we are with the first Rodney Dangerfield moment of the day. And with the ball on the 29, down 10-0, they opted to go for it on 4th and 2. And then Payne swats the ball. At first I thought it was Tim Settle, but it was Payne that did it, 94. Second from the left. I absolutely love our defensive line. We've got great depth, and the starters are just great guys, too. Jonathan Allen is a winner, and Payne's right there with him. And to see the shape that Payne showed up in this year, he's ready to take that next step forward and not just be thought of as just a big defensive tackle. He's ready to put some numbers up. Another play I wanted to point out. Watch this extremely clean pocket. Watch it again. Wentz has just got a completely clean pocket there. I mean, if he continues to get a pocket that's clean, it's just, throw and catch time. I mean, a quarterback of that caliber is going to find a guy wide open if he's got enough time. Now, if a guy is going to break open almost immediately anyway, then, a quarterback of that caliber with a clean pocket is going to be able to find the guy immediately and tear a defense apart. Thankfully, on this drive, the Redskins were able to not have that happen to them. Again, watch how clean this pocket is. I mean, with the guys we've got up front and some of the guys we added, especially like Sweat, I know he's going to take a little bit of time to get things together. But, guys like Kerrigan, Payne, I realized Allen was out of the game, so your normal rotation was a little different there. But there's absolutely no reason why this team was not putting a lot of pressure on Wentz. And to only sack him once, in my opinion, I'm not trying to take anything away from Philadelphia's offensive line because obviously their offensive line is capable. What I am trying to say, though, is that Washington was touted for most of the offseason as having this pretty good, defense, especially the front, the front seven, the front four, especially. So I don't want to say disappointing because it's only one game, And there was a lot of heat issues, a lot of cramping issues with a lot of different players that led to what I saw as the defense declining, that allowed the team to take over. Now, there were several other reasons why. I believe that there's some coaching issues going on right now, especially with the defensive coordinator side of things. And I know that a lot of people are way down on Jay Gruden, myself included. But if we're being completely honest here, the defense lost this game along with the penalties and the offense's, inability to do really anything in the third quarter. Now, I want you guys to look at this play, and I want you to tell me something. Now, watch Kerrigan. Everybody knows Kerrigan is 91. Watch Kerrigan get held on this play. You can see him up here already talking to the referees, but watch this as this play plays out from the other angle. Now you tell me. I'm going to try to pause it. Okay. Now you tell me, folks. Is this man not hooked right here? I know that's a horrible arrow, but is that man not hooked right there? I see an arm. Watch, I'll outline it. There's the arm right there. And it's hooked. He's hooked. So I want to know why it is that we got all of the holding penalties we did, and calls like this continue to go uncalled on Ryan Kerrigan. Plays like this really get to showcase what Daron Payne brings to the field. He's right here. Payne's that guy that's going to grab his blocker and maybe give him a false sense of what he's doing is actually stopping him. And then he's going to kind of move him or twist him or shove him at the last second when the ball carrier is there and it's time to make the play. With that in mind, watch this play. I mean, just picture perfect. Watch it again. He twists and pushes. Look, twist, push, grabs him. Love it. Great play. Okay, I wanted to show this play right here because it's another situation where the pocket is as clean as a whistle. Watch that again. Now you can see Kerrigan comes around there, but easily just pushed away. He threw in a double coverage though. Surprising. Okay, so I wanted to show this play here. This is actually probably one of the better defensive highlights of the day. Montez Nicholson comes across the top and really puts it into this play. If you watch it all take place, Philadelphia has a really good set of tight ends, and they know how to use them. Boom. Now, the great part about this play is that the hit was legal. Now, this play right here essentially was the beginning of the end for the Redskins, and nobody really knew it at the time, but I'm not sure how Josh Norman ended up on D-Jax in this play. Let's go ahead and watch the film. All right, so D-Jax is right here, and Norman is right here. Look, everybody, that's Josh Norman's normal position, running the opposite direction. Now, I get it that this is a scheme situation. A couple of guys are playing zone over the top here. Maybe you got, one safety here kind of watching Ertz across the middle to make sure he doesn't get free. Yeah, I get the positioning of everybody here. It seems like there's a lot of stacking on this side of the field right here. With, I see a back over here. So it looks like a few people out of position here. It looks like Landon Collins is on his guy. Everybody else, you actually are wide open here and here. And the reason why I say The second one is wide open because that's DeSean Jackson. You got to love my arrows there. But that's DeSean Jackson. And DeSean Jackson against Josh Norman, everybody in the world knows, including, that's right, Carson Wentz over here in this clean, look at this clean pocket. Carson Wentz over here knows that D-Jax is streaking down that sideline, and he's already, well, not the sideline, but he's streaking down that side of the field, and he's already seen Josh Norman over there. And, I mean, he's way faster than Norman. Josh always gets beat on plays like that. And I have to say, I'm a Josh Norman fan, or I used to be at least. Now I'm kind of wondering. It seems like he's lost a step. But I mean, that is D-Jax. Let's not forget for, any amount of moments that is DeSean Jackson. And he's going to do that to a lot of players in the NFL, not just Josh Norman. But to Josh Norman, yes. Go one-on-one. Here's Jimmy Moreland right here. I have to believe that the team would rather want Jimmy Moreland to go one-on-one with D-Jax than Josh, who's like, 0.3 to 0.4 slower than D-Jax on a 40 time. Yeah, I feel like he probably should have come over the top and helped Norman out. I really do. Yeah. What are you going to do, rookies? I think that maybe Jimmy Moreland might have been the reason why Josh Norman was on the back end of that. Or his... Now, I could be wrong, but it does appear like he ends up in a space by himself while Norman ends up going one-on-one with D-Jax. And I don't think that that's what the team wants. I really have to believe that the team would rather Jimmy Moreland. If you're... Hold on a second. Okay. You see that? Josh stopped that play. If your coverage dictates that Josh Norman is the guy that's covering DeSean Jackson, then it is the wrong zone, or whatever you're running is wrong. That portion of the coverage is wrong. You have called the wrong play as a coordinator. I don't make the big bucks in the NFL to go out on Sundays and make these kind of calls. But I can tell you that if Josh Norman is covering the top side of the defense in a play where, the underside was open as well, mind you, but in a play where, everybody knew what was getting ready to happen, if that's your scheme, then your scheme is flawed. Now, in the very next series, the Eagles try to come out and go deep to Alshon Jeffrey. Here, I'll show the play and then I'll back it up a little bit. But they try to come out and go deep to Alshon Jeffrey across the top. And the play is there. It's there. But Josh Norman smacks the ball out the way. Now, see, on plays like that, Josh is great on. Josh doesn't need to be covering DeSean Jackson. Well, this play here, the rookie Montez Sweat actually does a really good job of coming in and closing off this edge right here. The problem is he kind of overruns the play, and Sproles just kind of cuts inward. Now, obviously, Sproles didn't get but a couple yards on the play, which is good. But Sweat's in the backfield. He's getting pressure. It's good seeing this. It would have been a lot better to see him show up on the sack category or the more on the quarterback hurry category. But it was good seeing him in the backfield there. As time goes by and he gets more chance to get on the field and do things, I think we're going to be really happy with the way this guy, ends up. He's faster than a good portion of your running backs in the league as it is. He can run from one side of the field to the other, and his closing speed is unreal. Well, here's another example of Sweat off the edge there, making a play against a running back. Nothing special, it just gets the job done. I've been fairly open about my criticisms with Josh Norman, and His ability to, I'd say, cover with the ball going deep down the field. The guy just doesn't have long ball speed. He's a decent zone corner. Actually, he's a great zone corner. But when he's backpedaling and going against somebody with superb speed, he's a liability on the field. Now, what I've noticed the last, I don't know, 2 years, maybe even 3, is he's constantly going the opposite direction. These comeback routes that other teams do on him are just, textbook easy stop comeback routes. And it kills him every time because he overcompensates. He's 7 to 8 yards down the field with this cushion that he feels he has to have. Now, if you want to see Josh, he's at the top of the field. Now, keep in mind that I'm not trying to down Josh. I'm just trying to point this out. This is a play where Alshon Jeffrey got some yardage on the play, and they moved the sticks. Got to get better than that, man. It's got to get better at that. Got to get better at that, and at Norman's age, I don't know if he can. He just got beat. I mean, Jeffrey is dynamic too, so I'm not trying to, beat up on Josh or anything, but, the truth is what it is. Now, this play right here, it wasn't really a pivotal play for the Eagles. It only really was a 5-yard gain for them. But I want you guys to do me a favor and watch how deep Monte Nicholson gets. Like, they're really overcompensating here, quite obviously, because of the DeSean Jackson effect, right? It turns out to be a 5-yard play. Now, this is the play that Quentin Dunbar had issues with cramps or whatever it was and went out of the game, and DRC came in. He actually had some pressure there on him. If you look, Ryan Anderson coming off the edge. Almost got him, number 52 on the right side there. He almost put Wentz in the dirt. And this is another play right here. This is where they were gouging us after Dunbar is out of the game. You can see 45 at the bottom of your screen. They'd given up an 8-yard pass before this one, which was the play that the first play that Dunbar had been out of the game. And if you look, Nicholson is back deep again, and Darren Sproles squirts through. And I'm going to tell you, he was one move away from this being a touchdown. He spun. If he would have deked a little bit or cut to the left, that might have been gone. Yeah, Nicholson got him, though. Well, this is the play that Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie gets hurt on. And, at this point right here, they had complete control of the game. They almost got in. And that was the play Cromartie got hurt on, was making that tackle. Hurt his forearm. I mentioned a few times that Wentz has had a pretty clean pocket this game as far as looking at this film. And I said before the game that one of the keys was getting at him and trying to make him move around because we really didn't know where he was at, because he had that back issue and he had some situations, happen in the offseason. So we really didn't know where he was at as far as reacting, responding with that injury with the back. So, him moving around in the pocket is something I wanted to see to be able to determine how good or how far along he was. And then this play happened. Kerrigan gets good pressure, and he just steps right up. Makes the touchdown throw. Boom. Couldn't stop it. You know, at this point in the game, even though Washington still had the lead, the momentum had been snatched. And, you know, these plays, this one right here kind of puts a knife in my side. But there's no other way to do it but to just go ahead and press play. Just tough. Now, if you guys remember the first DeSean Jackson touchdown on this film review that I was talking about earlier happened, I said that there's no way that a professional grade coach or person would design a play to have Josh Norman end up over the top by himself with DeSean Jackson going towards the end zone. There's nobody that would do that. And I feel safe to say that was the case in this situation as well. Now, you may remember in the other play, Jimmy Moreland was kind of caught out in the middle of nowhere. On this play, he's right here, okay? Now, Moreland, he makes a move to go with Jackson, and then he starts looking confused again. And Jackson's right here. And he just goes deep. You know what I mean? That's his idea, is just go. Everybody knows what DeSean Jackson does, and he can track the ball better than just about anybody in the game. Jimmy Moreland is right here, and he is actually essentially the guy that ends up on him, while Josh Norman ends up on Alshon Jeffrey. And you got Nicholson, who's over the top right here. Now, I will say one thing. Nicholson is asked to do too much. As the play develops, there's an open man on the other side of the field too, and he bites. So if you watch it all from start to finish, you'll see what I'm talking about. And Moreland gets beat. Moreland's 32. Drops back with him, stops. Jackson's wide open across the top. I wish there was a way I could just bump it back a couple of strips. Okay, there we go. Now, as you see right there, he's already beat. Ball's in the air. Ball's in the air. Okay. Now, Moreland is sitting there. He's a sitting duck already. Here's Moreland right here. He's a sitting duck already. Nicholson's eyes are right there on this man right here. And for good reason, because he could go all the way. And Wentz is smart. So Wentz felt the play out. He actually was turned. If we could get when we see the play on the other direction, we'll see. But he was actually turned like he was going to go to this play right here. But then, you know, his eyes played tricks. And at the last minute, he threw it the other direction. And Jackson, I mean, I'm sorry, man, but that's what he does. And Moreland ends up looking like a rookie again. I'm not even sure if you'll be able to see it, but you'll be able to see what he looks like in the pocket here. Wentz with a clean pocket yet again. And you can see Moreland there at the end of the play by himself. You know, I noticed a lot of people were kind of down on Montez Sweat this week. And they said basically that he didn't really produce a whole lot. And yeah, there was no sacks, but I thought he did well against the run. Like this play right here shows. This angle isn't the best in the world, but if you watch it from the other direction, I mean, it honestly looks like the Philadelphia Eagle running back might actually fall down when he sees him coming. Look at the cushion that man's got. This is D-Jax right here. This is Dunbar right here. That's the guy that's covering him. And look at these guys. You got a guy here. You got a guy here. Look at all this open area here. I mean, Jackson can run around and play if he wants to, but, I mean, that's already a first down. The first down marker's right here. got a little shady there with the line. But, I mean, look at that. This is how Dunbar covered him after that. You know, I tell you, somebody who I didn't really see get his number called a lot was Bostic. You know, and I saw how big the coaches were on him. You know, and I'm no Mason Foster fan, so it was actually good to me to see him not in the starting lineup. But then when I didn't see Sean Dion Hamilton in the lineup, I started thinking, what's going on here? And everybody said, oh, well, Bostic is better. I think it's just an opportunity that arose for Bostic because SDH got hurt, so he was able to step in. But now SDH is supposedly back and able to play, so why hasn't he? I think what we'll see this week will be a little bit more of him along with the rookie Holcomb to try to get things a little bit better in the middle there. You know, for all the knocks that Mason Foster had, he put numbers as far as numbers of tackles. He put those in the box score, and I realize you're going to have some shakedown. You're going to have some some tackles kind of go other places. You know, Landon Collins is a tackle artist. That's what he does. So he's going to get a lot of tackles. I realize that. So, you know, I actually am glad that somebody besides Mason Foster is leading the team in tackles, perhaps. But we need more out of the middle linebacker position than what I've seen Bostic show on this tape that I've been sitting here watching today. You know, at this point in the game, I was actually expecting what was getting ready to happen. You know, it was just a matter of time. They were able to chip away with this and chip away with that. 6 yards here, 8 yards there, 2 yards here. And I knew it was just a matter of time before Ertz got the ball and was able to take it inside the 5. And if you see that play, Dunbar really he got beat bad there. It's like, what are you doing, Dunny? You missed him, first of all. You looked like he jumped did he jump the route there? Maybe he jumped the route. Overran the route, perhaps. You know, some of these plays I look at and I'm like, whatever. Here's that play. I don't know how that happened. You know, I had to be honest with you. This game was highly disappointing. I could remember times being more disappointed than this game. But to have the lead that they had and then to squander it and to not be able to do anything about it, and then to watch the offense go from where they were to, you know, how they were playing during the third quarter, and then to watch the defense not be able to stop anything, and then it seemed like for a couple flashes they were unable to do anything with DeSean Jackson, and it was over just like that. And you know, Washington took the L, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to bounce back in week 2 against Dallas. I feel like the team has a shot in pretty much any game that they're in this year. And it's important for me real quick to thank everybody for sitting and listening to me for however long you've listened. Without you guys, the channel wouldn't be possible. And if you could do me a favor, hit that like button on your way out, and maybe even drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about certain situations that happen in the video. You know, I'm always looking for input. Input is the reason I'm here. So if you're thinking something and you want to comment it, just comment it. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of snarky humor, but hey, man, if you got an opinion, let's hear your opinion about the play or how the defense played in this game, which obviously was not where we wanted it to play, right? But, you know, that's about all I got. I've gone on way too long again. Hail to the Redskins, y'all. Peace.